My next guest is going to be defending his welterweight title against Jon Fitch coming up here at Bellator 220 on April 27th. It is Rory MacDonald joining me here on the program, The Champ. Rory, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining me. I know you're in Toronto right now. Where am I getting you right now? Are you in like a restaurant or something?
Just the lobby of a hotel.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the dedication to doing this. How has that been doing the media rounds? Is that going to be a day-long thing?
Yeah, I should finish up in a few hours, but it's going good. They treat me pretty well here, the PR team at Bellator. So, how
has that been? Doing the media obligations and then balancing training, because I know that does disrupt things.
Yeah, it's a day off training. So usually I would be at the gym a couple of times today, but I'll make it up through the week. I mean, it's at the end of the world.
And what about your diet? I know for us, he was mentioning, whenever he has to do media stuff, he'll just, fast. He does the intermittent fasting. Do you get any food in during the day?
Yeah, we had breakfast. I eat healthy, so I don't find it a big issue. But yeah, if you're really busy, then yeah, I guess it's a forced fast.
For this training camp, is it all at Tristar? I was trying to look on your Instagram. It seems like you're in Montreal doing training there. I know in the past you've done sort of a split camp with Toshido. Is the full camp for this one at Tristar?
Yeah, my entire training camp's at Toshido. Training at Tristar. I've been training with John Chamberg, with Crew Ash for my kickboxing, and things have been going really well.
That's great. Was this the right amount of time off for you from the fight with Gegard Mousasi?
Yeah, it was the perfect amount of time. Things came to place very well. I feel at great health, focused, ready to kick off this tournament with putting my best foot forward,
What do you say to those critics? People said after the Lawler fight you wouldn't be the same, and then they're saying the same thing about the fight with Gegard. What do you say to those critics that might not understand that you've got plenty of fight left in your career?
I don't really pay too much attention. Everyone's got their outlook, but I feel that I have a lot left, and I'm excited to show it. Sometimes we stumble in anything we do in life, and it proves who you are, how you get back up, and how you keep going forward. So I feel like I've been a pretty good example with that, and I look forward to coming back stronger in this next fight.
Yeah, and we're certainly looking forward to it. How's the nose? I got to ask. I know that's something people always bring up with your fights.
It's actually really good. It's better than ever, to be honest. I never reset my nose or did a surgery on it, breaking it from the Lawler experience. So I just kind of left it. I kept fighting with it, and after the Mousasi fight, it was like there was a very small break in it. So anyway, the doctors went in, they looked at it, and they straightened all the bones out. I took 3 months off of contact, and everything seems to be like great, better than ever. It doesn't have the same sensation to where maybe I thought it was healed before, and then I would get hit, and even though it wouldn't break, it would still have a weird feeling. So now it feels great, and thank God that I'm very confident with it.
You're taking on Jon Fitch, someone that I'm sure you've been familiar with because you guys were both in the UFC at the same time. Does that make it a bit easier preparing for someone that I'm sure you were aware of for a while as opposed to, say, a newcomer?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's been around. I've been watching him fight since I was in high school. So he's got some crafty veteran tricks and experience. And, exciting guy to fight. He poses a lot of threats, so I'm excited to go up against a guy like him.
Is there one particular opponent, past opponent, that reminds you of Jon at all ahead of this matchup as far as your preparation?
I'd say the closest guy is Damian Maia.
Which is interesting because, you beat Damian Maia, and I know he lost to him. I know MMA math doesn't work, but I'm sure, you could look at both fights to a certain degree. Jon Fitch, one of the things you could look at in this fight, he's only fought twice in the last, I think, 2 years. Do you feel like, him not being as active might impact him in this fight?
Not really. When you have that kind of experience and you've been in the game, and injuries or setbacks, it's just time. So I've had years like that where I fought once a year, and I feel like I didn't miss a beat. So it comes down to how the person reacts to it. I don't think of other people's situations too much. I just deal with being the best I can.
As far as training partners at Tristar, who are some of the main guys you've been working with for this camp?
The main guys, I've been with Alex Garcia, Andrew Sanchez. Who is the other guy? I've been sparring a lot of guys. So there's a ton of guys at TriStar. It's hard to name everyone. But yeah, I've been working with a lot of the welterweights and middleweights.
And when does the weight cut process start for you? I mean, we have a lot of time before this fight ends up happening. Does that start already, or will that happen closer to fight time?
Well, I'm dieting, I'm eating clean, and as I train hard, some weight comes off. But as it gets a little bit closer, it gets more intense. Obviously, I start eating a little less and still working hard, so the body really kind of shrinks,
Right. Yeah. No, it's a gradual process. How do you see this fight playing out coming up here on April 27th? Do you feel like you can finish Jon Fitch?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it shouldn't go past the first couple rounds, but I'll be in good shape for all 5. That's for sure.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Faraz Zahabi, Crew Ash, and Mike Ricci.
Oh, nice. So I actually was going to ask you about Mike because we haven't seen him fight in a while. Now, is he retired from MMA, or is he just is he just taking a long break?
Yeah, I think he's retired. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back and fought, but he's got other interests in his life right now. Fighting now, I think if he fought, it would be more out of a hobby thing, not out of a career choice.
Right. Okay. Do you still follow the UFC at all, or is that something that's not even on your radar these days?
No, I still see it. I don't watch a lot, but I kind of keep up with current events somewhat.
Well, I wanted to ask you a few things on that. Kamaru Usman just defeated Tyron Woodley for the welterweight title, someone that you fought. Were you surprised by that, to see Kamaru be as dominant as he was in that fight?
I'm not really surprised. I mean, he's really good. I actually never watched too much of him before, but I guess I was more surprised with the reaction Tyrone gave. I mean, I know he's fought like that in the past, where some nights he comes out and he's a bit asleep behind the wheel, but Kimura came in and he did his thing and he fought hard and he really dominated him in every area. So props to him. And some nights Tyrone and any other fighter, we just have off nights. So I'm sure he'll be back, and I don't know, he'll have good fights. But Kimura looks like he's a good champion. He's got really good cardio, and he mixes up his striking and wrestling really good.
How do you feel like you would match up against Kamaru if you guys were to ever fight?
Oh, well, I think it would be a good fight. I think he brings a hard fight. Because he's got incredible conditioning, he likes to put a high pace. So, but the thing is he makes a lot of he makes some errors. I see some holes, but you really gotta take advantage of those holes, or else he'll make it a long night. So he's a dangerous guy. I mean, he's a UFC world champion. I think it would be a fantastic fight, though. Definitely not an easy one.
Kamaru looks like he's going to be fighting Colby Covington next. What do you make of Colby and his whole antics? You guys actually fought on the same card in Ottawa a couple of years ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's kind of similar in the way that he keeps a very high pace, and he's got great conditioning. So he does a very similar style. Obviously, they have differences, but they have this wrestling base, and they fight ferociously and mix it up. But I would consider Kimura a better chance of winning, just because I feel like he makes less technical errors. But again, I don't know.
No, fair enough. I was actually also meaning, like Colby's antics, outside the cage. He wears the Trump hat and is very kind of boisterous on the mic. Is that something you like, or do you find that a bit annoying as the entertainment side of the sport?
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Yeah.
Someone who's also like that a little bit, Conor McGregor. I don't know if you saw today, announced his retirement. Do you think that'll stick? What was your reaction when you saw that?
I think it's. He makes a lot of emotional tweets, so it's hard to say if it's going to stick or not. But maybe it's a smart decision right now. I mean, because he's got so many things going on with his personality. Maybe it's time to take a year or two and just kind of figure out where his heart needs to be and put himself in the right position, because you can't be too mixed up in this sport. You have to be very focused, and like he was very focused when he was doing his 145-pound run, and I'm just going by from an outside perspective. Maybe he doesn't have that same focus right now. So maybe it's time to take a little bit of time. But I don't know. I don't know him personally enough, Maybe it's all business. Maybe he's just making a tweet for business. I don't know. It's not my.
No, for sure. You got a title fight to worry about. One ththing we talked about last time, and I'm a dad myself, is I know fatherhood's really changed you, and you have another child coming on the way. When's the due date? When are you expecting your next child?
August 11th. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. And you must be so excited. Does that give you a little bit of an extra boost for this camp, knowing that you're going to be a dad again?
Yeah, and hopefully I'd like to fight once more before he comes again, so I could really spend some time and help my wife when he's born. So I'd like to get both of these fights out of the way before that happens.
Will you have the birth in Montreal, or will you do it back in BC?
No, it'll be in Montreal.
Okay. And do you have a name picked out yet?
I like the name Rocky.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the front runner.
Okay. And let me guess, that was probably your choice, right?
Yeah, but my wife really likes it too.
That's great. Well, Rory, I want to thank you so much for the time today. Just anything you got to plug, any social media, any sponsors, the floor is yours, sir.
My fight will be airing on DAZN. So basically, if anyone doesn't know what DAZN is, it's the Netflix of sports. You can download it on any smart device, so your phone, computer, your TV, things like that. You subscribe to it like Netflix, and they got lots of sports, everything you could think of. And my fight will be on it April 27th, so subscribe and watch.